Hi, another episode of Mr. Marty. Well, I'm wearing a pink shirt today. It's a new pink shirt. Thank goodness for Amazon. I'll tell you, I'm trying to find a pink shirt in a men's size is not easy, but thanks to Amazon, bang, I had it like that in a couple days. And so, anyways, I'm feeling kind of existential today, so I wanted to kind of throw out something to just kind of meditate on for the whole day, because this kind of stuff really makes me think about the whole world around me and everything. So I've kind of titled this little segment of Mr. Marty, Sharks in the Desert. Sharks in the Desert. So at first, it sounds like sharks don't live in the desert. There's no ocean in the desert. What do you mean, Mr. Marty? Sharks in the desert? Well, here's what I mean. As amazing as this is, and you can go and do research yourself and discover this. But one of the things that I discovered, it's amazing to me. But there's a mountain in Utah, and it's in central Utah, kind of more of a sort of a hill than a real mountain, but it's kind of a mountain. So I had heard about this, and I did some research on it. But you can travel to this mountain, and I'm going to. One of the things that I want to do when I move to Utah is because I'm moving to Salt Lake, but this is about a 2-hour drive south of Salt Lake, maybe 3 hours drive. It's right in the middle of the state, surrounded by this vast desert. It's a mountain. And you can climb this mountain, and I used to talk with a lady on Facebook who kind of used to take people up there and would do this, kind of as a tourist attraction. But you can climb this mountain in Utah, and here you're in this hot, arid desert, and there's nothing but rocks and stuff around you, and there's no water for miles and miles. And you climb this mountain in Utah, and all around you, all you have to do is just kind of look for them, are shark's teeth, are the remains of sharks. You're like, wow, how did the remains of sharks end up on a desert mountain in the middle of Utah? Well, here's how. Because roughly about, and just kind of try to wrap your mind around this, to me it's just amazing to kind of meditate on this in kind of an existential way, but thinking about our own existence and humanity. But 400 million years ago, and again, try to envision this, and I'm actually going to do this. I'm actually going to stand on this mountain and do this, but try to envision this. You're standing on this desert mountain in Utah, and you're looking all around you, you're looking up. And 400 million years before you were born, there was this vast ocean right on top of you in the deserts of Utah. This vast ocean covered Utah. So as you're on this mountain, looking for shark's teeth in the middle of the desert, you can look up and think, wow, 400 million years ago, 400 million years before I was ever born, or anyone I know was ever born, or my fellow humans ever came onto this planet. 400 million years ago, there was this vast ocean, and there's all this marine life. There were sharks, there were jellyfish, there were all kinds of creatures, and there was all this, drama. There was, they were eating each other and swimming and living and dying and making new sharks and new babies and new fish and all this was going on. And it just, one of those things to just kind of think about as we go about our day to day, and you encounter all kinds of things, and maybe, it gets you upset or whatever. Just think about the fact that, hey, 400 million years before we ever came on this planet, 400 million years before you were born, there was this vast ocean that is where Utah is now. This vast ocean that sat across Utah, where all this marine life lived and died and lived and died, and the march of life, or the circle of life as they call it, went on. And it's akin to looking up at the stars and saying, wow, all of these star systems and all these planets, what does it all mean? And I don't know what it all means. I mean, I just think about these things, and I think about my own existence and the brevity of life, and we get caught up. We get caught up in this stuff, like, your favorite sports team lost, and so then you're in a bad mood for the rest of the day, and wow, the Packers could have pulled out that win, but, and then you're consumed by the fact that these guys who were throwing this, inflated ball across a grassy field, that they didn't do that quick enough or good enough, and then they lost this contest, and then that consumes you for the rest of the day, or your husband didn't come home on time, like he said, or he was out with his, or whatever, all these things that kind of like take us in this direction of kind of negativity, and we get upset, and we do this and that and whatever. Life is so vast, and I don't know the answers to any of these things. How did we get here? If God created us, why did he wait? Why did he create the sharks 400 million years before us, and they're all swimming in this ocean that sits on top of Utah? Why was that? And then 400 million years later, we come on the scene. Or if we evolved, why? I mean, was it just random chance that human life evolved? Richard Dawkins and Dr. Richard Dawkins, he often talks about the miracle of life, and how just basically by being here, we won the evolutionary lottery. That basically, all of these other people, all of our predecessors, all these other creatures, they were naturally selected for extinction. Naturally selected for extinction. They're gone. And so we've kind of won the natural selection, the evolutionary lottery, according to Dawkins. But if you don't believe that, if you believe that a consciousness, a supreme being called God brought us forth, onto this world, even if you believe that, again, that it's, sharks in the desert, sharks in Utah, basically raise, all kinds of questions. If we're thinking and we're self-aware, and we, kind of think about these things in an existential way. What does it all mean? I have no idea what it all means. But I just wanted to come on here and talk about sharks in the desert and this vast ocean that covered Utah 400 million years ago, and to basically say, there's a lot of things we don't understand. There's a lot of things maybe we'll really never know. And the only thing I know is that I am here today. You're here. You're watching this video on YouTube or Facebook. And we're here, and we're alive, and we can actually make a difference. Rather than a shark swimming 400 million years ago above the deserts of Utah, and he's 400 million years ago, and he's swimming around, he's eating things. Unlike that shark who just is pre-programmed to go and consume his prey, we actually have a choice. We actually have consciousness. We can actually make choices in our lives. And so I want you to think about those sharks in the desert. Think about that vast ocean that covered Utah 400 million years ago, and think about the fact that we can make choices in our life, and we can try to better our lives and better other people around us. And that's just kind of my message. That's just kind of my message today, that there were sharks in Utah, but we won the evolutionary lottery. They're gone. We're here, and so let's make a difference in somebody's life. Go out here and try to do something good today, and be positive. The life is wonderful. It just stuff like this. You're like, wow, this is cool. There was an ocean on top of Utah 400 million years ago with sharks swimming around. That's amazing, and I find that delightful, and I find all these aspects of life delightful. So life is good. Life is good. Your sports team might have lost. Your boss might be in a bad mood. Maybe you got into a car accident yesterday or something. But life is still pretty good. We won the evolutionary lottery, or God decided to favor us versus the megalodon sharks that were swimming on top of Utah 400 million years ago. But we're here and they're not. So let's go out and make this an awesome day, and let's go out there and make a difference in someone's life. This is Mr. Marty talking about sharks in Utah, sharks in the desert 400 million years ago, and just go out there and make a difference, folks. I love this life, and I hope you do too. I hope you do too. Mr. Marty signing off. Have an awesome day, folks. We'll talk to you later. Bye.